Oh man. Oh man.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Oh. Okay. Oh, 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 oh,
Ooh.
oh.
I want to harmonize so bad. Go ahead.
Burn.
Oh, wheezing at the end there.
Oh, we did.
I want to harmonize with you so bad, but
Hey,
I
man,
can't.
you
I
can jump
can't
in.
do
You
shit,
can jump
dude.
in at any time,
Man.
bro.
Yeah, that's all
Jump
right.
in
I
at
don't
any
want to.
time, man.
I'll just do my. Oh man.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Oh man. Golly.
Do I think we just got done with the prayer? Said, "Oh man."
That's it. He said, "Oh man, oh man, oh man." You know what I'm saying? Oh man, oh man.
Shit.
You said, "Amen, oh man, amen." You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit! How's your week been, man? Your week been good?
Not as good as this drink, but
Oh, I bet.
nah, man, it's been it's been
Decent.
like we always say, man, another week. It's been good, man. As good as possible. Happy with a lot of things. Frustrated with some things, and we'll get into that. But yeah, man, for the most part, like, had some great conversations over the last week. Definitely had some great action over the last week. Have had people having great action
Yeah.
that I've talked to, and steering me in certain directions as to things I can do. And yeah, I mean, I'm just like, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place, because it's like I'm glad I'm seeing change fucking finally, but I also know it's not enough, and I'm like, we got to keep driving the hammer,
Right.
You know. But as far as personal shit, yeah, man, everything's been good. The family's good. Been some great conversations. Just with me and my family and shit.
I want to bring up something real quick.
Yeah.
By the way, my week's been fine. Just in case anybody was wondering. In case anybody was
In
wondering.
case anybody was wondering.
But no, seriously, you actually made me think of something, and it's been something that's been weighing on my mind. I honestly didn't think I was going to bring it to the gray space table today. But patience, and I've been thinking about that a lot. But I want to make myself very clear when you talk about patience, right? Because I think we all struggle with it in certain aspects of our life. We can dive in deep, and I'm not trying to dive in deep into it. It's just a thought I've been having over this course of this week, and it's because you said some of it's frustrating, but I think the part of that is the patience part, right? But again, I'll say, I want to make myself very clear. Patience to me does not mean sitting back and doing nothing.
Right.
That's not what I mean by patience. Patience is moving forward, moving the needle, keep going, keep fighting, right? But you have to be patient, because nothing usually doesn't happen overnight. And it's frustrating. There's things that will be frustrating. Right. But I think I'm speaking for myself mostly, but if anybody could take anything away from this, try to be a little bit patient. And I think patience in this particular moment is a virtue, you know? But again, I'll say it again. don't get that word mistaken with sitting back and doing absolutely nothing. And being patient does not mean sitting back and not doing anything.
Right. So I totally agree with what you're saying.
Okay.
And nothing I'm going to say is in disagreement of that. I think I'll touch on it from my perspective, what you're trying to say. It's basically saying, look, this shit is hard. And there's going to be times where you want to give up and don't. Be patient in the sense that you got to keep fighting. You got to keep moving the needle, but understand that it's not going to happen right away. Like we got to continuously move the needle.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
because change just takes time.
It takes time. Now, on the flip side of that, we don't need it to take that much goddamn time.
No. I totally understand.
So there's a limit to the patience. You know what I'm saying? Like at some point,
yeah, but
like, okay, now we need. It's been 2 weeks. I need answers.
Right, and you're correct. There are limits to patience. It's not. It's the same. I'm going to say.
I totally get what you were saying.
Right.
By the way,
and it's like sitting in a doctor's office, right? I know. You're sitting there, right? And your appointment's at 10:15. You got there 15 minutes or you're there at 10. You signed in, you sat, and you waited. Well, do you sit there while you're there for 2 hours while nothing's happened? No, you get up and you go, hey,
right.
What's happening? Did doctor go home?
Right.
What's happening here?
Right.
That's what I mean. You keep pushing, and you keep making things happen. You don't sit back and just wait and watch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Patience is waiting.
Right.
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 You know what I'm
So you be patient, you keep fighting, and you keep doing the things that you need to do, whatever little part that you can. Everybody can play a little part, and it could be in your own specific way, But
Agreed.
anyways, yeah, just be patient. But, yes, we want to see results, and I think we're slowly seeing those.
We're man,
but
yo, like, I want to touch on a couple things.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to touch on your statement of doing your part in little ways. And you and I had a conversation yesterday or a couple days ago. I think it was yesterday. Maybe not. A couple days, whatever. We chop it up all the time. About supporting Black-owned businesses.
Yeah.
And that's a way that you can somewhat do your part, right? And you had brought up something that I had thought of, but the way you said it to me, like it made total sense. And so I want people to do this. If you're really down for the cause, right? And really trying to change things and support Black-owned businesses, it's not okay to just spend your dollar once. Now, what you did is you sat back before you spent $1. You sat back and you thought about one particular thing. What do I use in my everyday? What do I do? What do I use? What are the things that are part of my everyday life that I can not only spend my money on now, but that become a part of my life?
Right.
And you said, look, I get up and I like some coffee before I go to work or when I go to work.
Yep.
Then you researched and found a Black-owned coffee business and have already spent money there. And because the thought process was, man, if this is fire, they have my dollar forever. So I'm not just supporting them today.
Right.
I'm not just, basically making a donation, a one-time donation, because that's essentially what that is.
Right.
You're saying, I want to be a consumer of this product.
Right.
From this business. And so I'm going to think about what is something that I consume so that I can be a consumer, right? And I think that's huge. Like, people have to think it's cool to just like spend one time, but think about what you do. Think about the things that you have, the things you consume, and then find Black-owned companies that provide those things and spend your dollar there. Now, I also have to say, it's not like businesses are businesses at the end of the day. And if a product is not good, it's okay. Like, it's okay to say, like, yo, I wasn't really rocking with that.
Right.
Maybe somebody else is, but don't also on the same hand, don't let it deter you from now going to find another business, because that's what we do in general, right? Like, if I don't like this one, then I'm gonna find one that I like.
Man, that doesn't suit
Right.
me. My my taste
Now,
buds.
I have to
Whatever
be
it is.
honest. Most likely, it'll be fire.
Oh, dude, I can't wait. It's on its way. So the business.
Yeah, shout them out.
By the way, I'll kind of recap that story again.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I have donated, right, to the Black Lives Matter cause, but I felt I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. It was like not enough for me. I was like, it's cool, right? But I was like, I got to do what else can I do? And so, like the conversation we had together over the phone, I really sat back and I was like, I really want to support, I really do. And I was like, but I'm pretty minimalist type of guy. Like, I don't buy things like on a regular basis. I do, but I had to think about what I bought a lot of, right? And the one thing that was coffee for me. I drink coffee every morning. I have a glass of coffee first. I mean, it is literally, I wake up, take a piss usually, and then go and put a pot of coffee on. Right. And that's the first thing I do. And I thought, dude, I'm just going to check it out. Red Bay Coffee is the name of the company I found. They're out of the Bay, Oakland.
Right.
Please forgive me. I can't remember the gentleman's name that owns it, but I love his story, man, because he hires veterans. He hires people that have been convicted of a crime.
Okay. Tremendous.
He helps out the community.
Tremendous.
So I was and that's what made me even support it even more. I'm like, this is perfect for me. I drink coffee every day. And like you said, if the coffee's good, which I'm sure it's going to be, I got 2 different kinds to test it out, right?
What'd you get? I'm curious.
Oh,
I didn't ask you. What'd you get? Just flavor wise.
One was like, I love dark coffee.
Okay.
Like, really, if it's not dark, I usually don't.
That's why you invited. That's why you invited to the barbecue, Zeke. That's why. I keep trying to tell you, bro. God damn,
I do. I just like that real.
How you like your coffee? I don't want no goddamn sugar and no goddamn creamer in that shit.
Just like
make that shit black.
Yes, I really like it. I like it when it like you're pouring it and it looks thick. Hey, what were you saying?
Oh shit!
White boys say some of the weirdest shit sometimes.
Oh
yeah,
man, go ahead. No man, that shit's funny, man. Like I like that shit. Black. This is like, look, man. It's some black folks watching this right now that like, man, Zeke, man. I got to play for you when you pull up. You know what I'm saying?
So, anyways, one was an espresso, their espresso blend, and then another one. I honestly can't remember the name of it, but it was just a dark roast that I think it had like, I think they said like dark chocolate, and what was the other thing that was like prominent in there? I want to say it was like a fruit, like a vanilla or something like that, but it was a dark roast. So I went with those 2, bought 2 16-ounce bags.
Okay.
Try them out. I'm sure I'm going to like one of those and stick with it and just constantly.
That'll be the one, right?
Yeah, and I think they even have 5-pound bags. Go check it out. Red Bay Coffee, and I think it's redbaycoffee.com if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I've also looked into Jive Juice.
Right.
I was mistaken when I was telling you they are in Whole Foods, but in Texas they're in Whole Foods.
Okay.
But it threw me off because it said 101 North.
Oh, Because you was like, I'm about to hit the
I'm like,
one-on-one.
that's like the
I'm
right
looking
by
for a
me.
Whole Foods on the one-on-one. I'm about to get me some
did, but then it
jive.
said 101 North, Houston, Texas, or something like that. And I was like,
Gotcha.
man, but Jive Juice. What Jive Juice means, juice is very essential. Thought you might like that.
Oh man, we jive.
But they have like antioxidant type of stuff. Oh, go ahead.
I want you to go into it.
Go ahead.
Jive. Send me a little batch of that, and I will drink Jive Juice on every goddamn episode of The Essentials. Thank you in advance. And I'm buying it. Just send me a little batch, and I'm gonna buy 2 batches for that one you send me, and I got you. Okay, go ahead. What they got? What they got?
Anyways, they have like the naked juices that you get in the store, which I drink, and so get a couple of those. I'm gonna get a couple of those. They have teas that come in like the gallon, like you see in like a gallon milk or 2 gallon milk, whatever those are. And they have like if you're trying to do a cleanse, you could get those. They have stuff for like workout stuff.
Oh, nice.
Man. And same with the Red Bay Coffee. They also have like merch that you can buy, all kinds of stuff. There's fantastic websites. Both jivejuice.com, I believe, and
Red Bay Coffee.
Okay. Those are 2 that I found that interest me. Now, there is something I'm looking for. So if anybody, I'm looking for a good t-shirt company.
Oh man, there's so many out there.
I know, and I need. If anybody has any, I like.
Oh, there's one. There's one out here, bro. Yeah, I'll put.
But I like the positive, the.
Oh man.
You know the shirts that I like to wear, man. You know what I'm saying? So.
AMG.
Because the stuff I found was like a very fashionable type of stuff, which is cool, man. It's just not my thing. So I was like, that was the other thing I was thinking about trying to support. I just couldn't find anything.
Yeah, AMG the brand.
AMG? Okay.
AMG. It's AMGthebrand.com. All this stuff, it's called About My Grind. About My Grind is the name of the t-shirt company.
Okay.
And yeah, some very dope t-shirts. I'm gonna, and well priced. I mean, and I don't give a shit if it was, $30, $40, $50. I don't give a fuck. But I mean,
but I would like to support because I wear a lot of t-shirts,
Yeah.
to buy a couple every couple months, you would have my business for life. Mm-hmm. So anyways, yeah, like you said, I'm just trying to find businesses that I can support forever.
Right.
So I think it's that is something that I can do on a pretty much almost a daily basis.
Right.
Spend my money there. So
facts.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we'll give some links to the any company that we shouted out today.
Well, we'll drop those 2 down below.
Yeah, for sure. And then I'm gonna be doing an episode of Essentials where I'm gonna be having I'm gonna shout out a ton, man, and not just in the Phoenix area, in Cali, like everywhere. Like I want, please send us. I've actually held off on the episode because I wanted to get as many as possible. Like
right.
I don't just want it to be here. I want it to be anywhere that
right.
people are doing stuff. You know what I mean?
The cool thing about today, everything is, man, it's just like the Jive Juice thing, man. They'll send that stuff to you cold, but they're from Houston, Texas. So that's the way I'm gonna have to get that stuff.
Yeah, man.
So. That's the day and age we live in, man. You can get that stuff shipped to you right to your door, and so yeah, you can buy stuff all around the world.
Yeah, man.
And that's what's really cool about.
Facts.
Facts. So, what did you think about the Chappelle thing, man? If you guys haven't watched it, man, you guys got to go check that out.
Oh my God! Look, man. I don't care what anybody has to say. Dave Chappelle is the GOAT.
He is the
greatest of all time,
man.
And
he's phenomenal.
And look, man, I wasn't here. I've watched them, but I wasn't here during the Richard Pryor times. And I know that Richard Pryor pretty much paved the way for a lot of, and especially for a lot of black comedians, but he changed comedy. He changed comedy. And so therefore I can't, it's like 1 and 1A, but I wasn't here for Richard. You know what I'm saying? I've been here for Dave, and like, it's incredible, man. He did a comedy special that wasn't a comedy special.
Right.
That was him basically giving his feelings as to
very powerful
statements. The way he related it to himself. I won't dive into what he said. Like,
no, you guys need to watch
please,
it. Yeah.
if you guys have not watched it, like, please go out and watch it. You can find it on YouTube. I think it's on Netflix, but you could definitely find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So that's if you want to find it anywhere, it's on YouTube. Just type in Dave Chappelle. It's like one of the first things that pops up. It's called 846.
846. Yep.
And man, excuse your boy. God damn. That motherfucker was deep. That was right here. Well, I've been trying to lift that motherfucker up for like 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, yeah, man. I thought it was profound. I thought the timing was incredible. And one of the things he talked about was he wanted to sit back and pay attention. And that is like, sometimes you have to just get information, accumulate information,
right,
and then go. Like, and we talked about, I won't dive into it that much, because if you want to know, then go watch the last podcast or listen to it. But yeah, I thought that was important that he said that. And there's a lot of stuff that he says. He talks about, why do people want to hear from Dave Chappelle? And he goes, and finally hit him that because they trust that he's going to tell the truth. And institutions have been lying to us, whether it be media, whether it be, educational institutions, like the majority of the public that feeds us information, they've been lying to us for a long time.
Long time.
And whether it's a bull-faced lie or lying by omission, they have not been telling us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Right.
And so that was a very important thing for him to do. And yeah, man, I was very happy with, and I just loved it, man. Dave Chappelle is one of the comedians, and the reason I consider him the GOAT is because he's done it his way. He did it the industry's way a little bit, but even when he did it his own way, and shed light on a lot of things. Like a lot of the things that we're talking about right now, he made jokes about on the Chappelle Show.
Right.
And through his comedy specials, and was saying this shit years ago.
Right.
Years ago. You know what I'm saying? And
I think that's the other thing that I was talking to you about this earlier, was like the way he articulates his words, and you see it in his comedy specials, everything that he's done, right? And I think that's why people want to hear from, because it is the truth, but it's the way he tells
exactly that
and
truth.
It's like basically a big fuck you in a sense of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just raw.
It's raw.
That's the better word.
It's raw.
Just very raw.
It's educational. It's like, I guess there was a story, and man, I don't want to fuck the story up, but there was a story about him doing basically an impromptu comedy session. He was just there, he was watching, and he's like, I'm gonna jump up on stage, and he had a heckler, and the heckler, he was talking about police brutality. What happened was he was asking the crowd to give him like phrases,
like talking
and
points,
then talking points.
Yeah.
And then he was going off, and somebody said police brutality, like in the back. And he starts going, and a white woman says, get over it. Like, in a sense, he's like, what'd you say? And she says, she repeats herself, very comfortably and probably proudly.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of flaming her, which he could have done, he takes his time to not only educate her, but educate the crowd on history, facts.
Mm-hmm.
And by the end of it, she walked up. She didn't leave. She was not asked to be escorted or anything. She went up to him and said, I am truly sorry. And he said, look, it's okay. But that's why when you said that, I needed to educate you. And so that's Dave Chappelle, man.
Right.
Like, he's here to say fuck you, but fuck you in a way that you understand why he's saying fuck you.
Yes.
About certain things.
Fuck you, and it's very raw, and it's very,
Right.
Now,
and he's owned his mistakes, man.
Yeah, of course. Well, shit, man. Who's free from mistakes, man? Nope.
Right.
Nobody.
Right.
The last thing about Chappelle, because what about the Notebook? He brought a notebook.
Oh man,
up
let's
with
talk
him,
about the Notebook.
and he flipped it open about 3 or 4 times.
I don't think there was shit in that notebook, bro.
But why do you think he had? First of all, why do you think there was nothing in there? And
Okay,
why
so
do you think
I really have thought about this.
yeah.
So, the first thing I thought when he brought the notebook out, I was like, oh, he's gonna have some. Instead of opening his phone and making it look like he wasn't engaging with the people, right? He has a notebook, and a notebook is actually it's still engaging, right? It's pieces of paper. Funny enough, even though you could read from them, and you could read from your phone,
Right.
reading from your phone just seems like you're disengaged,
Well,
right?
I think that is a mental thing, real
I
quick.
think it is a
because
mental
it could
thing.
be like, well, you're not looking. You could be looking on Instagram,
Right.
Facebook. You could
No,
be on Twitter.
we've been doing podcasts, and I've been like this, and I've been literally
I know.
researching stuff.
I
And
know.
like on camera, it probably looks like I'm like, yeah,
Right.
yeah, okay,
And
right,
then- yeah.
yeah. And I'm like, I'm listening, but I'm researching stuff so that, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's something I forgot. We do it all the time.
So-
And
So yeah. So we got.
so
the
anyway,
thing-
so he's got the notebook. So at first I'm thinking that he had written some things down and just jotted notes.
Right.
Now it's a notebook, but it's a pretty thick notebook for it. It's it's a decent notebook.
right.
Then he keeps flipping the pages, and I'm like, I don't think he's looking at anything. I don't think there's anything actually in the notebook. Now I may be wrong. I don't think there's anything in the notebook. I think he opens the notebook, and it's almost I've come to the conclusion that I think it was the same thing as twiddling your thumbs, and when
Yeah.
not twiddling your thumbs because you're bored, but twiddling your thumbs because you're thinking.
It's
Or
it's-
having
yes.
something, something in your hand.
That's really interesting, man.
Or, look, I'll be talking to you and I'll be like,
Yeah.
look, man.
That's true.
And I keep moving this, and I don't need to move it at all, but it's a way for me to center my mind and get back to what I want to talk about, right? I don't want to forget anything. And so I think every time he opened the notebook, it was a way for him almost to whatever he just talked about, let that go, and then go on to the next thing he
Gotcha.
was talking about.
It's kind of like having, people like put like a rubber band or something around,
Right.
like to remember, and they could touch it or whatever and be like, this
Right.
is a memory, or this is something.
Because I don't think he had anything in that
you know,
notebook.
right.
I looked, man. I rewound it multiple times, and I was like,
So also, I didn't think about this until we talked about it. I said, okay, hold up, we got to save this for the podcast. But what I was going to tell you was that's really interesting because when you write in a notebook, right, and you open it up, it's usually you're putting pressure and then you're writing in the notebook, right? Flip the page.
Mm-hmm.
That notebook was very like pristine. Like it,
Extremely.
you know what I'm saying? Like when the notebook is used,
It
right?
looked like it was brand goddamn new.
Yes, and that's what I mean. Like it looked new, like it wasn't. And I thought, you're right, man. I don't think it was used. I don't think it was just.
No.
It was just.
I think he was prepared to say a lot of things, and I really don't think any of it was written down and rehearsed. And so I think that the notebook again was a way for him to channel back to what he wanted to say and his feelings. Like sometimes, you know, and if you notice when he opens it up, it's at very transitional parts of the special. And even if it's not a transition, maybe sometimes he's speaking on something and then he doesn't want to miss anything while speaking on that, so he'll sit back. He opens a notebook. And it's like it's literally like doing this with your hands, or you know, tapping something.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so it didn't bother me. I just thought it was very calculated, man. And actually made me love, like, I'm like, I hope there was nothing in that notebook. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because if he really, I don't think he brought it on as a prop. I think it was a personal thing to him and a personal thought to say, I'm going to bring this on to make sure that I have something to go to. And maybe I'm thinking too deep into it, but
I don't know, man.
I looked at
Chappelle's
that
a very,
video,
yeah.
man, and I was like,
I
I don't think it ain't no motherfucking words in that notebook.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it was like a prop, but I would be more like how I was saying earlier, you know, tie a string on your finger or whatever, you know, to remind yourself, or
Right.
But it could also be a comfort thing for him as well.
Exactly.
You know, of just, I'm going to bring my notebook, you know, and just for whatever mental reason that he has for it, you know, it could be had nothing to do really with memory. It could just be the fact that he wanted to have his notebook on there, like you said, like a twiddling of your thumb.
Straight up.
It could just be as simple as that.
Fire.
But I just thought that was interesting
Yeah.
because we talked about that and touched on it a little bit.
Straight up.
But yeah, man.
Hey, man, I want to talk about something, man.
Yeah.
And I'm actually gonna stop looking at the time because we got shit to talk about. I had a 2-hour conversation with my dad the other day, man. That was fire.
I love your dad, by the way.
Man,
Your dad is just a
dope.
just a dope man.
My parents are fire, bro.
But you know, just your dad has this presence about him.
Yeah. He don't be
It's
saying
very calming.
calming.
Intelligent,
One of the calmest dudes I know.
but just cool as a
Cool as the breeze, boy.
Just cool, man. He's just got this, just cool, man. I don't know. Your dad is cool as shit, dude. I love your dad. I love your mom too, dude. Your mom's dope as fuck.
They're both fire.
I know we're talking about your dad, so go ahead.
Well, I gotta include my mom because I don't want to hear no shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna see her. You know, I see her a lot more than I see my dad. You know
Right. Well, your dad lives in
and
Texas,
my mom
so
is dope. My mom is dope as shit. Well, right now we talking about my dad.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Sorry, mom. God damn. I'll be over there. The kids will be over there. We gonna go swimming. Okay.
Yep.
I love you. But yeah, man, I had a fire conversation with my dad, and we talk regularly, but not as regular as I would like to. And he works, man. He travels for work, and you know, I'm working and got the kids, and you know, so our lives are busy, and we talk, you know, maybe every couple of weeks, you know, every 2 to 3 weeks, and understandable. But we haven't talked about this. And now we have talked about these things in the past, right? And so it was a long conversation, and it's a lot to unpack. But one of the things that we talked about, because my dad spent 30 years in the military, is we talked about the removal of, you know, of the names of certain bases that were named after, Confederate,
like generals or
whatever.
Yeah.
The losers of the Civil War.
Right.
Removing those names from the bases.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously there's been mixed feelings, but I think most people who, actually are smart and intelligent and understand what's going on, have been for it. Now he asked me my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, I don't know. Like, I have an opinion, but I have never served in the military.
Right.
And I've been around the military, obviously, but I've never served. And so I said in my opinion that, of course, they need to remove it.
Mm-hmm.
And replace it. It's not just removing, but replacing. And then we kind of talked, and he said, look, he said, I had mixed feelings. And I said, well, I was like, okay, well, where are we going with this, Dad? Come on now. He goes, they need to remove them. Period. They need to be removed.
Right.
He goes, but we can't replace them with just any old da-da-da. We have to replace them with names that are significant, that show not only Black history, but show, commendable, strong soldiers, people who have served the country correctly,
Mm-hmm.
had great morals in their personal life, people who were part of change, and were part of the military, people who were part of change in the positive way. And I said, Dad, I totally agree with you.
Right. I'm in agreement with that as well.
Because his point was, he goes, it's one thing to replace it symbolically, right? Remove it symbolically, and then, but he goes, but just replacing the symbol is fine. Like, we have to remove it. That's cool. But he goes, but we have to replace it with something that is not just replacing it, but and make it like drop mic. Like, this makes sense. It's significant, so that from here on out throughout history, right?
Yes.
People are gonna, what's the history behind Fort da 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 da?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I was like, yeah,
I'm with that, dude. Like
100%.
100. I want to tell you a quick story, because this is. So I had a conversation, a friend of mine, and he was talking. I think he was talking about his like half brother or something like that, and his half brother was saying he didn't understand the removal of some of this Confederate stuff. Right? He was, and so my friend actually had a really good point. Now his other brother died, got murdered. Right?
Okay.
But the cop, the detective, didn't want to do the work and ruled it a suicide to put the case to rest.
I got something else.
So he was, but basically he told his half brother, he goes, look, man, if they put a monument of that detective up, wouldn't you want to tear that shit down? Because of that motherfucker who... And I thought to myself, man, that's a good way of looking at that.
That's a great way
because
to put
when
that, bro.
You're talking about these men that in the Confederacy that's committed genocide against another race, and
they lost.
But
they're a part of
tear that shit. Come on,
they're
dude.
a part of military, but not our military today.
Plain and simple.
Matter of fact, if the motherfuckers was still alive,
yeah.
I saw something with Trevor Noah, man. Shout out to Trevor Noah,
Noah's awesome,
Daily
by the
Show,
way.
man.
Yeah.
He goes. What's funny is, he goes, both parties would be offended. He goes, if you bring these motherfuckers back up from the dead and they show like, oh, y'all got these motherfuckers working with us now, like, you know what I'm saying? They'd be like, what? What y'all mean?
Yeah.
Y'all named it after me and they working with us? Like they wouldn't. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Right.
They're they fought to keep black people enslaved.
Right. Right.
Like, I don't give a fuck what
Yeah.
they did before that and after that.
Right.
They fought to keep black people enslaved. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all we got
Straight
to
up,
say.
tear that shit fucking down. Come on.
God,
Let's get rid
I
of
don't
that
get
shit.
it. I don't get it, bro.
I don't get some of this
I
shit
don't
either,
get it,
dude.
man.
I really
there was
don't
a video
understand
out there of this lady who hired. I think it was like a lawn company or something. She hired a company, some guys to come work, on their house or whatever. And these two white guys pull up and they back in to what looks like a multi-house or driveway, right?
Mm-hmm.
And which it's very common in like California and in many states. We have like bunch of houses, nice houses, you know what I mean? But they have a big driveway where people can pull in. And so they back up and they got a big ass Confederate flag on the back, right? And she comes out in the nicest way possible. And she's like, hey, look, I'm sorry. I know y'all drove a long way. But I have to inform you that we will not be using your services. I will be hiring somebody else. And the husband, I think it's the husband, he's like, she's upset about the Confederate flag. And she goes, I'm extremely upset. And then the guy says, the guy who's there to do the job, he goes, he says, I can remove it. No, you ain't got to remove it. You can believe what you believe. That's what you believe. Just know that I will not be using your services. Thank you. Have a blessed day. I was like, God. And the way she did it was incredible. Like I was like, that's the way you handle situations.
Yeah,
you know what I
that's a
mean?
beautiful way of handling it.
And who
actually.
knows how, I mean, he drove off with the motherfucker still on, but who knows that, maybe he went home and thought about it. Now he probably didn't, but maybe he did. Maybe he did.
But I'm in agreement with your dad, man.
Yeah, man.
Replace those names and
With something
I would
significant.
something more significant, and it's like
He said one of the, I think it was one of the gates, one of the entrances to the base, where I think it's where he is now. He said one of them was called Robert E. Lee Way, like for the longest time. And he's like, really? And they changed the name finally to, I think it was Buffalo Soldier Way. So like he was like, that's what we got to do. We got to do stuff like that.
Yes.
Like if we're gonna do it, that was his point. Was like, let's not just change it to, random person that is a part of history way. Like let's change it to these people, this person that changed history.
right.
You know what I mean? And I love that. I love that.
Or even like a powerful saying or something. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Something.
Well, it's got to be, it's within the realm of the military and those who have served. So something that's strong.
Well, I mean, I was just thinking I don't know much about. Forgive my ignorance on military stuff. I'm not too but I'm thinking of battleships and stuff. Some of them were named after like USS Ronald Reagan or whatever, right? And then, but what about
not Reagan.
What about
It's the wrong
USS?
guy.
What?
No, I'm just playing.
But is there a ship called him? I don't know.
I don't give a shit if it is.
I'm just saying.
I know.
But what I'm saying is, but then there's ships that are called USS Arizona.
Right.
Well, something can be changed to something as powerful with a saying or something like that, or
I agree.
Like a space shuttle USS Discovery or something like that.
I agree.
Something, but with people that have done good.
Yeah.
And then powerful, just something more powerful.
Yeah. I agree with
just,
you. Man, but they taking monuments down out here. Man, it's long overdue. They should have been done this shit, and we know that. But that's what I've been saying. Keep the fucking foot on the gas.
Yes. Yeah.
Shout out to Andrew Cuomo too, man. Changed. I think it was 10 laws. He had a 10 law bill, got rid of chokeholds. Now they're felonies. Shout out to
You're schooling me. I don't
shout
know
out
this.
to Texas. They just passed the Breonna law, which gets rid of no knock warrants. Dude, let me look up. Let me look up the
Look it
Cuomo,
up,
let me
yeah.
look up the Cuomo thing
Because,
because there was a
me.
few things that he did. Also, while I'm doing that, and we'll come back to this Andrew Cuomo thing, man. Shout out to Cuomo. We got to talk about Robert Fuller. And I have not talked to you about this, so you have no idea what I'm talking about. Robert Fuller was found hanging from a tree in Palmdale, California, right across from City Hall. Have you heard this?
I think I did.
Okay.
Keep going.
Now, this happened a couple days ago. And there was no major news on it because it was immediately. Hey, let me repeat myself. A young black man, 21-year-old black man, was hanging from a tree right outside of City Hall.
Is that why?
In Palmdale. And it was immediately ruled a suicide. Now,
Shit.
I am not going to make any statements on whether it was or whether it wasn't. Okay? That's not what I'm here to do.
Right.
Okay? This is a wait and see, but do your research and see type of deal. Have patience, but don't have patience type of deal.
Right.
We need to look into this. If the right people and respectable and commendable organizations, because I don't think you can just trust that certain people in law enforcement in this day and age are still. There's so much going on. They're still trying to fight it.
Man, I want to say I've heard this, but
it just
that makes sense that
happened.
why it quickly disappeared though, because I know I heard something about a young man hanging from a tree, and I don't remember where it was at or anything like that. But and then I was like, man, I wonder why I haven't seen anything else on that. So interesting that.
Dude, Deion Johnson out here in Arizona. We got to keep going for it's like it's still happening in the midst of what happened. Like there's still a lot of people police officers that just don't give a fuck. And there's great ones out there, man. Like I don't want to even have that fucking conversation.
I will say this though, because I said this to you last week. It's kind of like a sports term, but you're only as strong as your weakest player is.
Facts. It's facts.
And so we need to get rid of the weak and these bad people, bad cops, and but as a team, right?
Right.
Police force is a team. You're only as strong as your weakest player is. So it makes everything look bad.
Right.
Even the good ones. It makes them look terrible.
It does.
And there's plenty of good ones out there, man. But it's just like it just doesn't look good, man.
There's plenty, but there's a lot of bad ones, and because of the system and because of the way the union works and the money that's spent, they protect themselves.
Yep.
You have a family reviewing family business.
Mm-hmm.
You think you're going to let that get out into the world? No. People in power, especially people in power, don't do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but again, Robert Fuller, let's let's keep an eye on this as much
Yes.
as we're watching
Yeah,
the
I will.
Breonna Taylor,
Yes,
as
I
much
will.
as we're watching the George Floyd
Thank you for bringing
trials.
it to my attention.
Like we got to keep like,
Yeah.
and I want to say I know it's a lot. And and it's a lot. It's been a lot for every black person in America, but I know it's a lot. And I know a lot of people aren't built for it. Okay, so I don't want people to get discouraged because we have for years. Now we're fucking, like I said, it's rocking a hard place, you know, because like we're getting these wins, but it's still not enough. There's like, it's like, dude, the door's open. Like we can get so much, and not like stuff that should have been done
Years and years ago.
and centuries ago. So,
Right.
so I know it could be a lot to pay attention to all this that's happening in, you know, Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and Deion Johnson and now Robert Fuller. You know, if that's the case, because I'm reserving judgment. I think it's very fishy.
Yeah, but you're bringing it to the.
I'm bringing it to the table. We got to make sure a thorough, unbiased investigation is done into what happened. You have a hanging black body across from City Hall in Palmdale, and come on now, get the fuck out of here.
Right.
So
yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, but like as much as it can be overwhelming, let's get it to the point where it's not happening, and so we don't have to worry about it,
Right.
you know, or it's not happening, like, because this is we're talking over a few months that these things are happening. So if you think you're overwhelmed, trust me, just keep paying attention, keep in the fight. If you really about it, stay in the goddamn fight. Take a deep breath. Talk to people about what you can do. Talk to people about things you don't understand, and keep in the goddamn fight. You know.
Yes. Keep your foot on the gas.
Because we want people to be a part of the movement. We want people to change. We want people to help.
Right.
We don't need, but it helps. Okay.
Of course.
So let me get back to the Cuomo thing.
Yeah.
Shout out to Andrew Cuomo, man. I don't know if this dude is going to run for president in 4 years or not. But if he continues on the path that he is, you know, he has a strong consideration for me. Okay? So shout out to Andrew Cuomo. I just signed into law nation-leading legislation that ends 50A, bans chokeholds, prohibits race-based 911 calls, which is fucking huge.
Yes.
Makes Attorney General the independent prosecutor in killings of unarmed civilians by police. That's just one. That's just a few of the things he did. So go look up and we'll post up in the description, maybe an article or something.
Yeah.
But yo, like banning chokeholds. And part of it was it makes it a felony to injure or kill using a chokehold.
Good, man. Good.
That's huge, bro. There's so many ways to restrain somebody. And I'm not, look. Man, I don't have to explain myself.
No, you don't.
I'm done with that shit. I just thought about it like I don't have to explain myself.
You don't have to explain it.
We know
like,
what it
you
is.
know that what's wrong is wrong.
Right.
I mean,
there's justified reasons for a lot of things. There's a lot of shit that is not justified at all. It's not. It's not. And so I'm not going to apologize.
Right.
Y'all know what's justified and what's not.
Right. Exactly.
Okay?
Everybody should know what's
the
right
fuck
and wrong,
outta here.
man. So.
What we got?
Oh man. Well, Man, we
Man,
could
man.
keep going.
I'm like, damn, we got to
We
save
keep-
some for the next
I know.
episode,
Well, I mean,
man.
shoot,
God damn.
we're just gonna keep going. Yeah, we'll end it off here.
Anything we missed before we go? Anything we missed? Because
I
I
think-
don't want it. Because we get out here, we're like,
I-
damn, I forgot to talk about
But
that.
you know
We'll
what,
just talk
man?
about it on the
It's
next one.
it's all right, man. Like, there's so
Yeah.
much to talk about. There's so much stuff happening. We're gonna keep on this train. We're gonna keep the foot on the gas here on the podcast. We're not doing album reviews anymore.
No more album reviews. We
just
just-
kind of on a side note, something that we might do later on down the road, just as a little side project. But as for right now, it's just kind of put on hold.
Yeah, man.
So I just want to throw that out there.
Shout out.
Oh,
Go ahead.
real quick, man,
Mm-hmm.
because I got to bring music into it. Because you know me, I love music,
Of course.
but this isn't really music. B. Dot and
The Saga.
the Saga.
Mm-hmm.
Go check out that battle. Best rap battle I've ever seen.
That's crazy.
Hands down.
It's on the,
the best.
It's on the URL TV app, so you got to get the app. You got to sign. You got to sign up for that.
Okay, all right.
Or
Well,
find
I'm
somebody. Or
bad.
find somebody. Or just wait. If you
I
don't
guess,
want to
yeah.
spend money, wait till YouTube drops it.
Right. But man, the setting, they're on a rooftop. It's just them. The sun is setting.
Right.
Oh man, it's just one of the dope. Out of all the battles I've seen, man, I've seen some
Fire
dope
battle.
battles. That was,
It's a fire battle.
for me personally.
Third round, one of the best rounds I've ever seen in my life.
But
So
just
shout
the
out to
stuff
B.
that
Dot
they
and the
were
Saga.
talking about
Yeah,
too
man.
was
Yeah.
just
incredible
and relevant for
today.
today.
Yeah, incredible.
So I'd encourage everybody who likes rap battles, or even if you don't, I'd highly suggest go checking that out.
For sure that.
What you heard will be back this week, so you guys go check that out. I think that's all I got, man.
Let's keep this thing going.
Mm-hmm.
Don't fucking let up, man. Let's keep going. And reach out. I have a very dope conversation I'm going to have within the next couple of days with somebody who's an old friend, and we're going to chop it up. So, and maybe he'll make a guest appearance on the podcast. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, man, let's keep going. Like we're enacting change, man. Let's
Yeah.
keep going, man.
Real quick, essentials.
Yeah, essentials, man. Please
Next
send
week?
me like coming up this week.
Okay.
As soon as I get as much, like I want to have as much material as possible.
Yeah.
So please send me Black-owned businesses that you know of, that you have consumed from. That like, please send me. I have a good list, but I want more. And whatever state, wherever you're at, wherever, if it's a website, I would love to have websites. That would be great.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. If it's an Instagram page, send me their Instagram page.
Yeah.
Send me their Facebook page. Like send me something so I can showcase these Black-owned businesses and generate some dollars. I just purchased from shout out to Purple Girls. We got some popcorn coming. I'm actually gonna pull up on them real soon. Purple Girls popcorn, great. Dope. And then we gonna hit up JJ's Grub Shack out here. There's wings and things over there. We gonna get it in. My big
yeah.
ass like to eat. So if you got some fire food, I'm pulling up.
Right.
Pulling up with the strength.
Well, everybody's got to eat, man.
Everybody got
to eat.
But we pulling
So,
up. We pulling up
shoot,
deep.
man.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm getting takeout. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna stay. You know what I mean? We still in pandemic mode. You feel me?
What?
We still in pandemic mode.
What?
But
Huh?
we
are?
we focusing on the big pandemic, the
Oh,
pandemic that's been going on
right.
for years. You feel me?
Not the COVID. I thought the COVID was done.
Yeah. Right.
I thought we were all over
It's a
with
whole
COVID.
nother fucking conversation. It's a whole nother podcast. What are you talking about?
Oh, jeez, dude, we go on and on about.
It's already an hour, man. Shit, we ain't got another hour to fucking get these people, man.
Anyways, man, love, respect, kindness,
Yes.
Stay positive out
All
there,
that.
everybody. Keep your foot on the gas. Let's keep going. Let's keep doing this thing. Love all y'all for tuning in and listening.
And as always, this is the Gray Space.